Right, hello and welcome to my stream. Uh, th- this could be an utter bollocks, um, like there now, when the thing recorded through the screen, which was quite ingenious of me. Anyway, yes, this is my predictions, and yes, this is a Twitch show. It could be the worst thing you'll probably ever see. Well, no, that's probably not right. This is Twitch. Twitch is probably the strangest of the strangest is the strangest. This is the room, but I'm using a GoPro at the moment, and it's probably the big wide camera, wide angle. So you see everything. You can probably see all the dirt. You can probably see everything. Anyway, as I said, these are my predictions. They were a couple of good games over the week. A couple of them that, let's say, were good, and then let's say some were not so good. Let's see. Let's see. This is live. I'm doing very badly, aren't I? It's great crack. Again, let's see what happens. Again. So, may as well get into it. The first game this week is, it would be Toronto against Columbus Crew, if that's the correct way of saying it. I'm not sure if you should say Columbus Crew anymore when they've now changed their name to Columbus. I know, intelligence, it's amazing. Not a lot of fans now are quite happy with this whole change up, but you know, Columbus Crew has already changed their badge already, and this is the third time they've changed it. So when you think about it, is this really all that crazy for them really to be doing? So anyway, getting on with it, they're taking on a Toronto team in Miami, in Florida somewhere. So it will be a good, interesting game. It is going to be on quite late at night. It's going to be on at like a midnight. To be fair, all these games are going to be on quite late. So saying that, I'm going to give my stupid predictions. I think Toronto should have a good wee say in this game, but Columbus Crew are probably definitely the favourite coming into this game. When you think about it, let's see, Columbus Crew, they are 6th in the league, whereas Toronto are 12th. So let's see what the crack is with that. I usually am more prepared. Anyway, so yes, Toronto's only played one game technically at home, whereas Columbus Crew's played one game away, and both of them have been draws. Toronto have been scoring more goals, whereas I think Columbus Crew actually really hasn't scored many at all. So when you think about it, Toronto should be the favourite coming into this one. I think Columbus Crew still are the better team, and Toronto haven't really haven't got a win underneath their belt at the moment. Their fans weren't all that happy about them last week against New York Red Bulls. I think New York Red Bulls weren't that fantastic at home, and I think Toronto had them there to be beaten, but obviously they didn't. So saying that, you would think that Toronto should pick more up into this game, whereas Columbus Crew haven't really settled down all that well either. Yet, so they won their last game, and that was against DC United, which isn't all that bad. So saying that, I think a Columbus Crew 2-1 win probably get this one over the line. Just Columbus Crew are probably the better team, and Toronto haven't really filled me up with much joy. Yeah, so basically I'll go with that one. Next one is Inter Miami against Montreal. This one is an intriguing one. You think Montreal at the start of the season, or started the season quite well. Then again, so has Inter. Where's Montreal in the league? Montreal. CFC Montreal. Yep, they won their first game, which was against Toronto, then they drew against Nashville, and then Columbus Crew, which isn't a bad result. Then they got beat by Vancouver, which is not a bad thing, because Vancouver are actually doing quite well at the moment, all things considered. So they're coming up against an Inter Miami team who lost last week, against Atlanta, which was a pretty good result. They lost their first game against LA Galaxy, who are surprising people at the moment. Then they beat Philadelphia, which is an amazing result. Then they drew with Nashville, then they drew with Atlanta. So now they're taking on a Montreal team who I think they're performing a lot better than they were last season. So saying that, this game could be quite an interesting one. Montreal, the two games. Well, let's say Inter Miami, first game at home. The two games at home they drew and lost, whereas Montreal drew and lost away from home. Both have scored over quite a few goals in these games, so predicting a lot of good goals into this one is probably going to be a strange. Isn't going to be as strange. So saying that, I'm going to go into an interesting one. I think Inter Miami might win this one if Higuain is finally finding his feet and starting to look all that menacing. Even though last weekend, he didn't really seem all that great, to be honest. So I'm going to say Inter Miami is going to be like a 1-1 draw. I think Montreal is probably going to start this game off well, and then Inter's going to get back into it and then score a goal and draw. The next one is Philadelphia against New England Revolution, where now I've been keep saying that New England's going to win, then they don't. Then when I say that they're going to draw, they win quite well. So saying that, they're coming up against the New England team who are we're doing very, 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 very well at the start of the season. Now they've lost their last game there, which against Nashville, even though they haven't really beat many big teams. Saying that, and they beat DC United and they beat Atlanta, so you can't really say that they've been up against the biggest teams. Now they're coming up against the Philadelphia team who have started the season off quite badly, but now they're playing to beat Chicago Fire quite convincingly. Now they're coming up against the team who you would suspect them to beat. I do suspect that Philadelphia to beat them quite easily. Philadelphia at home this season, there are 2 games they haven't won. New England has won one game, drew one game and lost one game away from home. Again, I wouldn't really take this into consideration, whereas Philadelphia are probably now used to being playing 2 games a week. So you could probably think New England probably may struggle in this one. So I may go for a 2-1 win to Philadelphia, just for the fact is I think they're they are the better team quite convincingly. So I think they will get their first home win of the season. The next one is Houston Dynamo against Sporting Kansas City. Again, 2 teams who have not started off the brightest this season. Houston Dynamo started off probably quite well, whereas Sporting Kansas City didn't. Sporting Kansas City beat San Jose Earthquakes, then lost to Portland, then drew both to LAFC and Dallas, which isn't too bad. Whereas Sporting Kansas City, do you think they won their last game? Yep, they won their first game against New York Red Bulls, drew with Orlando, then lost against Real Salt Lake, and then beat Austin. So they're coming into this game probably with a better record. So saying that, I think Sporting Kansas City may win this one. They should have the capability of winning this one. And I think for the fact of traveling to Houston, probably it may take a wee bit out of them. So I might go for like a 1-0 win for Sporting Kansas City. They just probably have the better team, and I'm still to be convinced about Houston, but watch the space. They could probably quite easily win this one. And all fair play to them. And the next one is Minnesota against Vancouver. Minnesota played 2 games at home and lost them, whereas Vancouver drew their only away game. So that's pretty impressive. When you can, all things considered, like the last 3 or 4 years where in Vancouver haven't been all that great. They're currently 5th in the Supporters' Shield, which, would you have said that a couple of years ago? Not entirely, no. They're coming up against the Minnesota team who are basically rock bottom at the moment, and when you think about it, Vancouver should quite easily win this game. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game, so I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Vancouver. I just think they're just a far better team than Nashville at the moment, or Minnesota, sorry. So yeah, sorry Minnesota. And even though that you're at home, I think Vancouver should easily win this one. The next one is fun doing these live. The next one is Earthquakes against Seattle. Earthquakes are 2 for 2 at home, whereas Seattle drew the first game and then won their second game away from home. So, but I would say Seattle, this is a perfect game for Seattle. These are the two top teams, which would you believe, in the league at the moment. So I think Seattle are the far better team. They haven't really got far to travel when you think about it. So I think a Seattle win should probably do this one quite easily. So I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win. I think Seattle are just a far better team, and I probably think they're the best team in the league at this present moment. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they win their first Supporters Shield this season. So keep your eyes out on that one. And then the last one is DC United against Chicago Fire, two teams who haven't been great at all. DC United won their first game against New York City FC, which was a pretty impressive result. Then they nosedived. Where Chicago Fire drew their first game, then nosedived. So this is going to be an interesting game. DC United only home game is where they won. So saying that, this could go anyway, anywhere or anywho or anyway. This one's going to be pretty hard to predict. Two teams are not really in the best of forms at this moment. Saying that, I could see a DC United win, but I'm going to go for a 2-0, 2-all draw, just for the fact is these two teams haven't found that chemistry to where they really win this game quite convincingly. So they can score goals, but they concede quite as easily. So yes, I'm going to go for that. I'm going to try to do these a bit more around in Twitch. If you like it, this is just on a GoPro. There's no max and fake all at the moment. I'm currently trying to watch it on the phone as just to see how good I am at this. I'm not really good at this, as you would probably tell, because you would have heard the Twitch on the background going chirping at me trying to turn it down. But anyway, those are my predictions. If you like this, hit that follow button wherever the hell it is. If you like, subscribe. Bit of money. It's only like £2 or so. I don't know. Don't really care. Saying that, so yes, I'm going to try and keep doing this here during the weekdays, just for the crack, and then I'm going to see if I can try upload this onto YouTube. So have mercy on me. Saying that, those are my predictions, and if you are, as I said, if you like these stuff, hit that subscribe button, follow wherever it is, and I hope to see you on the next one, if this hasn't been a big enough balls. But thank you. Toodaloos. Bye now.